You slept 8 hours last night, maybe even 9, and right now, you're still tired. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why, and 3 specific things you can change starting tonight. Not sleep more, not stress less. The actual mechanisms, the ones nobody bothered to explain to you. Everyone tells you the same thing: sleep more, exercise, eat better, and you've probably tried all of that. Maybe you do all of that, and you're still exhausted. So either the advice is wrong, or there's something underneath it that nobody's explaining to you. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain produces a molecule called adenosine. Every hour you're awake, adenosine builds up, slowly, steadily, like water filling a tank. The fuller that tank gets, the more your brain pushes the signal. Sleep. Now. Please. That's normal. That's how it's supposed to work. The problem isn't the adenosine. The problem is what you're doing to your brain's ability to clear it. Let's talk about caffeine, because this is where most people are making their first mistake. Caffeine doesn't give you energy. It doesn't create anything. What it does is block adenosine receptors, like putting a plug in a lock. The adenosine is still there, still building up. You just can't feel it. The half-life of caffeine is 5 to 7 hours. Half-life means after 5 to 7 hours, half of it is still in your system. Then another 5 to 7 hours for half of that to clear. If you had coffee at 2 p.m., by midnight, 50% of that caffeine is still blocking your adenosine receptors. Your brain thinks it's still afternoon. It won't go deep. And here's the part that breaks everything. The deep sleep you're not getting is the exact sleep that clears adenosine. So, the caffeine that kept you going today is preventing the cleanup that would make tomorrow easier. You wake up with a full tank, so you drink more coffee. The tank gets fuller. This cycle repeats every single day. This is not a willpower problem. This is chemistry. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do. You just accidentally set it against itself. There's a second system running alongside adenosine, and most people have accidentally broken it. It's called your circadian rhythm, your brain's internal clock, and it runs almost entirely on light. When light hits your eyes, especially blue spectrum light, your brain reads it as daytime. Stay alert. Don't produce melatonin. When you spend 3 hours on your phone before bed, your brain receives 3 hours of "it's noon" signals. Here's what melatonin actually is. It's not a sleeping pill. It's a signal. It tells every cell in your body, night is coming, start winding down. When that signal gets delayed, everything shifts. Your body temperature doesn't drop on schedule. Your cortisol, the hormone that's supposed to surge in the morning to wake you up, starts its cycle at the wrong time. So you fall asleep late. You wake up groggy. Your cortisol is still rising when it should be plateauing. And you feel like you've been hit by something. A neurologist would tell you, waking up tired after a full night of sleep is almost always a circadian problem, not a sleep quantity problem. You're waking up in the middle of a deep sleep phase, when your brain is least ready to surface, because your whole rhythm is shifted. Now, here's the one nobody talks about. You can fix your caffeine, you can fix your light exposure, and still wake up exhausted, because there's a third thing happening underneath: chronic stress. Not big meeting stress, but the low-level, constant kind, the kind you've stopped noticing. Your sympathetic nervous system stays activated. That's the fight-or-flight branch, designed for emergencies. Heart rate up, muscles tense, full alert. The problem is, it was designed for tigers, not for emails that arrive at 11 p.m. When your sympathetic system is chronically activated, It suppresses the parasympathetic, the rest and digest branch, the one responsible for actual recovery. So, even when you're asleep, even when you're getting your 8 hours, if your nervous system is running in emergency mode, you're not restoring. You're idling. The engine is still on. Here's what actually works. Step 1. Cut caffeine before noon. Not reduce it before noon. The half-life math doesn't lie. Your afternoon coffee is your tomorrow morning's problem. Try it for 7 days. Just 7. Step 2. Get morning light within 30 minutes of waking. Bright light, ideally sunlight, in the morning does 2 things. It anchors your circadian rhythm, and it triggers a cortisol pulse at the right time. Your real biological wake-up signal. Exactly when you're supposed to get it. You don't need to go outside for an hour. 10 minutes of bright light exposure in the first 30 minutes after waking resets the clock. That's it. 10 minutes. Step 3. Learn the difference between winding down and numbing out. Real wind down activates the parasympathetic branch, and there's a direct physical way to do it. Diaphragmatic breathing. Breathe into your stomach, not your chest. Slow inhale through the nose. Slow exhale through the mouth. 7 to 10 cycles. This directly activates the vagus nerve, switching your nervous system from emergency mode to recovery mode. With your breath. Here's the thing about being chronically tired that nobody says out loud. It changes how you think about yourself. You start to believe that this is just who you are. Someone who needs more coffee. Someone who isn't a morning person. Someone who just doesn't have that energy other people seem to have. That belief is wrong. You're not low energy. You have a nervous system that's been running in the wrong mode, on the wrong schedule, with a chemical system that's been working against its own cleanup crew. None of that is a character flaw. It's a feedback loop, and feedback loops can be interrupted. The 3 things we talked about, caffeine timing, morning light, and nervous system downregulation, none of them require willpower. They don't require you to become a different person. They're just inputs. Change the inputs. The chemistry changes. Give it 7 days. One question before you go. What time do you have your last coffee of the day? Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious, and I suspect most of you are going to surprise yourselves when you actually check. If this video gave you something useful, the next one goes even deeper into why your brain wakes you up at 3 a.m. and what that's actually telling you.